seconds.
30 seconds.
Roger.
20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Roll's completed.
Roger, roll complete.
There goes the pitch.
Roger pitch. You're on your way, Molly Brown.
Yeah, man.
We're a little bit high on the flight plans, but no problem, Molly Brown.
Okay, Molly Brown's go for staging.
Roger, looks good from here.
Roger. Took on update received.
Roger, update.
Okay, there was staging.
Roger, stage.
And we're thrusting.
Okay, thrust looks good from here.
Show full scale round to there. Okay, we're starting to steer. The horizon's been right in view.
Roger.
Our GS is go.
Looks good from here.
Oh man, look at that.
Steering is good from here.
Stand by to copy 2-1.
Roger.
Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger, copy Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger.
Mountain Island, Capcom. Go ahead. Roger, your Texas burn will be 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. Okay, 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. So far, we got your TR and Gemini load in. Your clocks look good on the ground. Everything's go here. See you next trip.
Molly Brown, Cape Capcom.
Go, Cape Capcom.
Look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
Say again.
Does it look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
I can't read the Cargo.
Roger, how do it look?
It looks great.
Right.
Carnarvon, Capcom, K-Flight.
Carnarvon, go ahead.
Ask him if any of the things we asked him to try did anything with the control system. I'm not concerned about it, just want to know how it acted. As far as we're concerned, he's go for the second orbit.
You still got a blood pressure, John? We didn't read it.
Hey, sir, okay, I'll give you another one.
Okay. Just wonder if he was breathing. Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Say again.
Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
RKV from Cape Flight.
Cape Flight, RKV, Capcom.
Roger, you are prime for retro.
Roger, understand.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Go. What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. I just put my daughter down for a little nap about 15 minutes ago or so. So crossing my fingers that she takes a nap for at least an hour so we can hang out a little bit for an hour. You know how that goes. Whenever I say that, she tends to wake up after 30 minutes. So hopefully she holds out for at least an hour. But good to see everybody. It's an afternoon stream. These afternoon streams are usually pretty laid back. Way less active than evening streams, which is fun. They're a little smaller, a little more intimate, and I dig it. Versatile Entertainment asked about me actually taking the photo. I did. The thumbnail picture was taken at a bowling alley maybe 5 years ago. I did a troop for a 501st troop for like an animal shelter thing that had a fundraiser at a bowling alley. And the bowling alley had arcades, so I couldn't resist taking a few pictures at the arcade. But welcome, guys. Let's hang out for about an hour. Let's talk Star Wars. Let's talk life. Let's talk more than just Star Wars, right? So evening streams are usually pretty thick with the Star Wars chat. Let's talk about everything, as these streams often go. Took17, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. Finished the book and very much enjoyed it. Well, thank you so much for picking it up. It means a lot to me that you got something out of it and that you enjoyed it. Our stations are moving to the mall where lots of Great Lakes boot campers hung out on weekends. Oh, dude, that's hilarious, man. Well, once again, thank you so much. If anybody has no idea what the hell he's talking about, I wrote a book. I published it about a month ago or so. And the reception has been way better than I ever could have imagined. So once again, Took, thank you so much, man. I went to that mall right when I got out of boot camp, Took. So how do I put this? If your rate, as they call it, was, I don't know how to explain this. Certain jobs immediately shipped out for a school. And some other jobs got to hang around Chicago for 3 days. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to hang out in Chicago. My flight left first thing in the morning, right after my boot camp graduation. So literally, I just had maybe 2 hours with my family. Maybe 4 hours. I'm going to say 4 hours with my family right after boot camp, and we decided to just go hang out at the mall and get some lunch and just chit-chat in the food court. I have been to that mall. Small world, man. So yeah, I graduated boot camp, had about 4 hours to kill with the family, went back to base, and then caught a flight to Meridian, Mississippi for A school in the morning. So yeah, anyway. Took, thank you so much for supporting the channel on multiple fronts, man. And tell all the boots that you see, congratulations. Welcome to the fleet. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate that. I always got to have some coffee, right, for these streams. For every stream. Afternoon streams, evening streams. Never fails. Randall Cromer, I know this may sound maybe a little although I can't speak this afternoon. Randall says, I know this may be a little off topic, but what does everyone think about Picard series? So, it's not off topic at all, man. Don't worry about being off topic. These live streams are a mismatch of all sorts of different topics, as you will soon find out. I love Picard. Picard is my captain, man. The Next Generation is my Star Trek. In fact, yesterday, I ordered a Picard print to hang in my new office. That should be here within a week or so. I'm going to hang a picture of Picard on my wall. I can't wait to get it. So I'm a huge Star Trek fan. As I said, Picard is my captain. You know, contemplative Picard. He's if I could pick any fictional leader, I think I would go with Picard. But I'm excited for the show. You know, I'm not really getting my hopes up too big. I'm not expecting a very introspective and, an introspective Star Trek series with Picard. I really hope it is kind of a heady and kind of philosophical and really interesting show. But, you know, I'm not holding my breath for anything like that anything similar to TNG other than a little bit of nostalgia trip with characters that we've seen before. So, you know, yeah, I'm excited for it on a very, like, kind of nervous level. So, yeah, I appreciate the question, though, man. Jawa Josh, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. Love the content. Keep it up. Well, dude, Josh, thank you so much for the kind words. This is still fun to me. I've always said that if you ever see me, like, not upload a week or two, you know, sometimes I go a week or two without uploading. That's when I kind of go hands off. I don't force myself to make stuff, right? So the fact that you love the silly shit that I make, is awesome to me. This is still fun. It's a fun creative outlet, and that's what I've always wanted it to be. So the fact that you, Josh, are digging it, I don't know particularly what's your favorite stuff. I've never really asked that question to people. What's your favorite kind of HelloGreedo stuff? But yeah, I really appreciate that support this evening or this afternoon. I'm so used to doing evening streams, but dude, thank you so much for the support this afternoon, and more importantly, thank you so much for the kind words and tuning in, man. Yeah, something just popped into my brain. What am I? Oh, what was it? Something just popped into my brain that I wanted to talk about. Crap, I can't think of it. It'll come to me again. There was something. What was it? What? Damn it. Anyway. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. It's good to see you. Vince says, is there a conspiracy theory that fascinates you? You know, I'm trying to think. When I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, I would get a little into it, certain things. And when I got into certain things, like, then I would want to research the debunked, the huge catalog of things debunking said conspiracy theory, right? For the most part, you know, I think the vast majority of them are bullshit. Like flat Earth stuff, that's just so stupid. I have a hard time believing anybody actually believes the Earth is flat. You know, it's so dumb that you think, is there a vast pocket of the population that is just so gullible they will believe anything they see without any credibility on the internet? I guess so. Or are people going along with the joke? Oh, I hope so. But no, you know, most conspiracy theories. What's interesting to me, Vince, is if you believe a conspiracy theory, most of the time you believe all conspiracy theories, right? It's kind of an interesting thing. If somebody believes that we didn't go to the moon, chances are they believe Oswald wasn't the only I can't speak this afternoon. Oswald wasn't the only shooter, right? You believe one, you have a tendency to believe all of them. The dumbest one to me is the moon landing one. It is the dumbest one. I have had conversations with people who don't believe we go to the moon, and you quickly find out how little they know about space exploration, how little they know about the history of the program, how little they know about things like the Van Allen radiation belt. You know, simple things like that. Or most of the people that I talk to that don't believe we went to the moon actually think that only 2 people ever sat foot on the moon. They don't know about the other missions. It's really, really interesting. When there's ignorance, then a bunch of bullshit gets filled into the ignorant hole, right? Hashtag ignorant hole. But yeah, man, I tend to just think most of them are bullshit. People searching for answers to things that just happen. You know, people want some kind of explanation for things that are bigger than how they actually happened, if that makes sense. So I'm not fascinated by conspiracy theories. The vast majority are nonsense. Things like chemtrails, come on. It takes, 10 minutes to actually research something and realize that they're not fucking spraying lizard goo into the sky and killing us, you dummy. People, it's like, I've actually talked about this a bit in the book, where, the internet, this new frontier, the entire wealth of human knowledge at the tip of our fingers whenever we want it. But a lot of bullshit seeps through, a whole lot of bullshit. And people don't take the time to research the credibility of claims or research the vast library of knowledge debunking said claims. All they do is watch a YouTube video and boom, some people's brains are just instantly hooked on that kind of nonsense. But Yeah, it's weird, man. So I'm not fascinated with conspiracy theories. I'm kind of fascinated with what makes somebody so into that kind of stuff to where, you know, it's almost like there is a ray shield around their brain that you cannot penetrate with any kind of reason or logic, you know. But yeah, you can literally use a telescope and yeah, I mean the LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is a kind of a satellite spinning around the moon right now, took photos of it, but you know, people think that's fake. Come on, how deep does this I mean, like, it's so stupid, man. People different brains, I guess. Different brains, but yeah. Anyway, Elvis lives. Nice. It's an interesting topic of conversation because I think it's like a deep psychological issue. And hello, Orko. Good to see you, man. On two fronts, thank you so much for the super chats and channel support this afternoon. Orko says, to tell you the truth, Orko, I thought about you the other day. I was like, I thought to myself, I haven't done an afternoon stream in a while, and your name instantly popped into my head. It's funny. An afternoon stream, finally. What's up, my Florida man? How's the family? How's the house coming along? Need to read the book and see Rise of Skywalker, but it's been a tough 2 months. Wait to go in break and catch up. Yeah, dude, things are going great. We moved into our house, as you know, about a month ago. And it's been great. I mean, like, no problems other than me messing up our garage door, which was an easy fix. I just had to call the troubleshooting line. That's really the only fix. We had a little minor leak underneath the sink, but they quickly fixed that. You know, it's a brand new house, and it's got to settle, and you're going to find little things here and there, but it is such a huge change from our 1944 house, you know. It's crazy. But, yeah, things are good. Things are good. And I need to do more afternoon streams, man. I've kind of been utilizing my afternoons and whatnot to kind of do stuff around the house. The past few afternoons I've used to kind of put my office together. My LED lights came the other night and I put them up, and then like I hung a shelf yesterday afternoon and, you know, putting up some posters and whatnot. So that's kind of what I've been doing in my afternoons. But yeah, check out the book, man. I hope you like it. And I can't believe you hadn't seen The Rise of Skywalker yet. Can't believe it. But yeah, I hope you dig the book. It's been getting great reception. More than I ever could have imagined. Better than I ever could imagine, rather. Every once in a while, I'll check the Amazon listing, and the reviews have been great and very. Some of them have been really like, just kind of, I don't know, really nice, and it's a better reception than I ever could have imagined. But yeah, I appreciate that, Orko. And Killian Hannon, hey Greedo, sorry I missed some streams, been busy with school. Oh, nice. Just wondering what videos are the most fun for you to make. I love this question, Killian. Give me one sec. Ant Shot first, dude. Thank you so much for becoming the latest member of the fleet. Welcome to the fleet, man. I don't know if you know this. You get a special role in the HelloGreedo Discord server, so you can link up your Discord with your YouTube account, and it'll give you a role. Should be automatically, or maybe it's like a 24-hour turnaround, but I'm pretty sure it's automatically. Also, I do supporter Q&As once a month, usually the first Monday of every month. So if everybody could do me a big favor, everybody in the chat, 90 people watch, and everybody in the chat say, "Welcome to the fleet, Ant Shot first." I would greatly appreciate it. But dude, thank you so much for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. I hope everything's going well with you in the channel, getting some inspiration. And yeah, once again, man, welcome to the fleet. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Thanks again, man. So Killian asked, hey Greedo, sorry I missed some streams, busy with school, which is the most important thing. Just wondering what videos are the most fun for you to make. So what videos are most fun for me to make? So there's kind of two categories I would say that are my favorite type of video to make. I love doing kind of research for various videos, like my video where how do I put this? I like going back in the internet time machine and looking at the past. I like looking at people's reaction of like the original trilogy when it was released, the prequels, the Clone Wars. I like going on old forums and reading Starlog magazines to gauge people's interest in Star Wars. So any video, any project like that that requires me to do some research, that'll take me like a week to make, is some of my favorite to make, to tell you the truth. That's like these long videos that take a decent amount of time to research are some of my favorite. The ones that are like my least favorite are honestly like news videos, because when I sit back, it's not original to me, right? When I sit back, I think about, okay, they just released something new about Star Wars. There's going to be 1,000 other videos covering this. You know, my video, what am I going to bring to the table? Anything new? You can read exactly what's going to be coming out. You know what I mean? Like, certain news videos don't really interest me that much, and aren't necessarily fun to make. The other category of video that I like making is just kind of random. I guess certain parody skits and stuff like that are fun to make. I haven't made one in a while necessarily. That's just because for the past 6 months or 7 months, we were living with my folks building this new house. Now that I'm in the new house, I'm getting kick into gear some parody videos and get that rolling again. And also Star Wars science. I like talking about science and stuff like that, which is another series that I have kind of left in the dust and I need to bring back. But yeah, I appreciate the question. I love that question, Killian. And hello, Orko. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Once again, I'm so glad you're streaming tonight. It's been a tough week and I just puked my guts out, and I'm glad I can recover listening to your stream after so long. LOL. Well, feel better, man. Drink lots of fluids. Buy a good old Nalgene. I swear to God, man. Nalgene needs to sponsor the HelloGreedo YouTube streams. I mention a Nalgene bottle at least once a stream. I always have a Nalgene. It annoys the shit out of my wife because it's a 32-ounce monstrosity. And it doesn't fit in our car cup holders, so I throw it on the dash and it's sliding all around, and she hates this thing. But I got 3 of them, and I always stream with one, and by the time I'm done streaming, I've had 32 ounces of water. Get an Nalgene, drink a shitload of water, Orko, and I hope you feel better. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing more afternoon streams. It's just been kind of like, you know, a little hectic. You know how it goes. But I'm getting back into the swing of things. I might start doing like staggered streams, like Monday at night for me, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday at night, Thursday afternoon, Friday at night, you know, and then not streaming on the weekends unless I feel like it, you know. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Feel better. And Nameless King, what inspired you to start doing YouTube? Cool question. So, way back in the day in like 2007. I believe it was right before a month or so before I went to boot camp in 2007. I had a Greedo mask from 2005 that I bought for the midnight premiere of Revenge of the Sith. In 2007, I started putting on that Greedo mask and going on a website called Justin TV, which eventually turned into Twitch. But I would live stream and act like an idiot. And you know, that's kind of where the name HelloGreedo came from. But that's not what inspired me to start this channel. That's kind of what started some kind of digital content. But regardless, what really inspired me to start the channel was when I was on deployment. I found out that the Star Wars saga was coming out on Blu-ray. And then I found out that it was going to be the special editions. And then I found out there was going to be more changes. And I read about it. You know, I would search for news and whatnot when I came into port on deployment. And when I got home from deployment and the Blu-rays came out, we were watching them, and I turned to my buddy. Me and my friends were watching them, and I turned to my buddy and I said, you know, I'm thinking of making videos talking about the changes on YouTube. And he just said, do it. So it was just kind of a little spark in my mind. And the two channels, the one channel I would say that I credit the most for this channel's existence in terms of giving me that spark and making me go, oh, I can do this too. Anybody can do this, is Angry Video Game Nerd. Angry Video Game Nerd, even before YouTube, his videos were kind of a huge inspiration for me because I saw that it was possible for a person for like a one-man show, basically, to make something online and have people watch it and say what they want to say and add some humor in there, right? So, yeah, just I felt like something that I loved was being tinkered and toyed with even more than it already was, and I didn't like that. And then you got James Rolfe and Angry Video Game Nerd, and then you got my buddy just saying, do it. And then the next day I started making my first video with a little Nikon point and shoot camera. And that's it. That's where it started. But yeah, I appreciate the question, man. What's up, William? Good to see you, man. Hey, buddy. Glad to see more Clone Wars reviews. I'm working on a science fiction comic and 3D spaceship combat board game launching on Kickstarter mid-2020. Oh, feel free to throw the... feel free to... Well, I can't speak this afternoon, Will. Feel free to throw the link in the chat or throw the name of it in the chat so people can check it out. That's pretty awesome, man. That's... Are you doing that solo? Science fiction comic and 3D spaceship combat board game launching on Kickstarter. Hell yeah. That sounds like such a fun project of passion. Something that... Oh, dude, I love it. I love it. Please feel free to post it in the chat or just type the name of it so people can Google it, you know. I would love to check it out. So, yeah, for everybody that doesn't know, William Aguilar is kind of the guy that inspired me or pushed me to watch the Clone Wars, and I give him full credit for doing so. He kind of broke down arcs, and he gave me a chronological order, and I've been running with it ever since. It's been, what, like 4? Wait, I think my last one was August, September, October, November, December. So, like, yeah, 4 months since I've uploaded a Clone Wars review, I believe. I have about 30 days until the new episodes start, right? So I think I have like 20 or 21 episodes to watch. I got time. I'm going to have to bust my ass and make it happen, but I think I can do it. But anyway, Will, it's good to see you, man. Best of luck on the project. That sounds awesome. Keep it up, man. And Vince Wynn, once again, thank you so much, man. This, The Simpsons versus Futurama. Oh, that's, you know... I watched a lot of The Simpsons growing up, but I found that I watched a lot more Futurama, like I would say, in my 20s. I kind of liked the wackiness and the, I don't know, the wackiness of Futurama more. And yeah, The Simpsons is wacky too, but it's grounded compared to Futurama. Futurama, you know, it's the far future. It's science fiction. Anything goes. They can do anything that they want, and they come up with some really wacky storylines that are a lot of fun to follow. So, in that sense, you know, can you guys? Oh crap! Can you guys hear me? Do I have internet? Oh, this is on my phone. Wi-Fi just went out. Okay, I still have internet. Weird. Must just be a pocket in the room where the Wi-Fi doesn't... My router is downstairs, so sometimes my phone loses connection. And then it tells me it loses connection. Cool. But, so yeah, I like them both. I haven't watched them for a very, very, very long time, but, you know, I kind of like the style and the weirdness of a Futurama more than The Simpsons, you know. But yeah, I dig the question, Vince. On it solo, and the website is still under construction, so it's not ready to show except for concept art and stuff, but I'll send you more info when it gets closer to launch. Yes, please do, Will. Galactic Factions. I dig it. Yeah, please do. Keep us posted. For sure. And Edward Castangue Foisey, thank you so much, man. Just saw your video on critics versus audience. I usually find myself agreeing with the critics as well. Also, just call me Ed. Less complicated. All right, you're good, man. All right, Ed. Yeah, thanks for watching it. I tend to agree with critics as well, and it's what's interesting. Certain movies, you know, I'll look up on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just say Rotten Tomatoes. The audience score will be great, and the critic score will be low. And when that's the case, when I agree with the audience, it's usually something that I grew up with, right? It's usually like an Independence Day or something like that. You know, a movie that I loved growing up. I still like it because I grew up with it, but I understand why maybe critics panned it. You know what I mean? But for the like, forever and ever, I would say I've sided with critics. I don't know why. It's not intentional. I guess maybe I kind of look for the same things that your average critic does. Especially with Star Wars, I don't want more of the same. And same goes with a lot of other things too. So the example that I gave in my video, Ed, was Ad Astra. You know, Ad Astra has like a 40 something, I think it has a 40% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and an 86 or 87 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And when I saw that score split, I thought to myself, I was like, all right, I gotta watch this. I'm probably gonna end up really enjoying it, you know. And I did. So yeah, it's really interesting to think about, right? And it doesn't boil down to pretentiousness with critics. It doesn't boil down to politics. It doesn't boil down to all these easily dismissible, simplified versions for why critics like things that audiences don't. It doesn't boil down to that. As I said in my video, just different starting lines, you know? But yeah. I love Ad Astra too, man. It's a movie that I watched it when my wife was out of town, and it ended at like midnight, and then I just kind of hung out on the back porch until 1 a.m, sipping on a beer and kind of like just hanging out, thinking about Ad Astra. It was a really just kind of, I don't know, really interesting movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, let me take a quick sip. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Haynes, Vince, Nameless King, Ant Shot First, thank you guys. As always, I am long-winded, so I appreciate the patience. Vince Wynn says, time travel possible, ? When/where would you go? So time travel, is it possible? In a sense, I guess it is, because, you know, okay, in a weird way it is. In a weird way it is. Let's think about this. The clocks on satellites. The clocks on satellites actually tick nanoseconds faster, I believe. Nanoseconds faster than the clocks on Earth, on the ground. That's because time moves slower up there. Einstein's relativity. In a sense, in a weird sense, time travel is possible. And not in the sense of pressing a button and hopping in your DeLorean and doing all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's possible. I mean, maybe, give enough time, human ingenuity. Sure, a million years from now, who knows? We're just going to be brains in a vat and we'll be able to conquer everything. I don't know. You know, if you travel at the speed of light, and you head out away from our galaxy, you're basically in a state of, like, stasis in terms of time. And you come back to our planet, depending on the distance and amount of time that you traveled, things will be different. You know, the planet will have moved on. You will not have aged. So in a sense, time travel is possible on a forward trajectory, right? It's possible in a sense, but going backwards in time, I don't know. My dad had an interesting thought. He said, what if you had a telescope powerful enough that, you know, Hubble Space Telescope, right, takes beautiful pictures of star systems and other galaxies and clusters of galaxies. What if you had a powerful telescope enough to where in a computer that could calculate all the points of light coming from this light source, let's say a planet or another star system or another galaxy, right? You had a computer that could calculate the light source on such a finite level, because everything is light, everything is reflection, everything is light. But this computer could calculate the reflection, the light transferring across interstellar space and intergalactic space onto the optical instruments of the telescope. You had a computer powerful enough to pick out those individual photons and rebuild exactly what the picture looks like from where it came from. Does that make sense? I could see something like that being possible. So that would be a way of gazing at a very, very distant object in the past, because telescopes are time machines. We see things as they were, not as they are. When we look at the Andromeda Galaxy, we're seeing it as it was 2.5 million light years, until 2.5 million years ago, because the light takes 2.5 million years to reach us from Andromeda. So when you look up in the night sky, you are kind of gazing into a cosmic time machine. Maybe that's not as exciting as pressing the button on a DeLorean and hopping from 1985 to 2015. But in an interesting way, it is kind of a time machine, you know. So time travel possible in the future. Going to the future, sure. If you want to kind of never be able to come back to the past, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah. That was a long answer to just say, I don't know, Vince. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Haynes, Nettinder, thank you so much, man. When will the next episode of Clone Wars come out? I believe the show debuts February 17th, right? I think let me see. Has that officially been announced? Where did I see that? Release date. Den of Geeks says February 17th. So I don't know. Is that officially announced? Premiere date. Entertainment Weekly says is this a clickbaity article? Come on now. At long last, the Clone Wars has a season 7 premiere date target. Oh, okay. So you title your article Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 gets a premiere date, and then you read the article and it says The Clone Wars has a season 7 premiere date target. So the headline of your article is very misleading, and it's false because it says nowhere in your article when it actually debuts. Oh man, isn't internet journalism fun? Isn't entertainment journalism fun? Gotta love it. So as far as I know, Clone Wars Season 7 release date leaks debunked, but reveal coming soon. Okay, so apparently it's not going to be 17th. So I really don't know. All we know is December. So yeah, all we know is not December. December. Why did I say December? All we know is February. That's all we know at the moment. So, you know, who knows? It hasn't officially been announced. So, I did just upload a Clone Wars video about 15 minutes ago or so. If you haven't tuned, I uploaded at 1 p.m. didn't I? I think. Yeah, I think it was 1. So, check that out if you haven't seen it. Anyway. I'm waiting too, man. I'm waiting to see when it comes out as well. I got a lot of Clone Wars to watch before that hits, so. And Vince, if at a museum, do you read everything or just look? It really depends, man. Like, I usually just look, but if something catches my eye and I want to know about the history of a certain thing, I'll read it. Like, we went to the Museum of Natural History. There's just, in a museum like that, there's just so much to read. You can never get to it, right? So, for the most part, I usually just look. I would say it's like 25% read and 75% look, you know. But it all depends. Like, when we went to the Air and Space Museum in D.C., I did a whole lot of reading. Yeah, it all depends on the exhibit and the object that we're looking at, right? So, but I appreciate that. And Nameless King, have you seen the Orville? If so, thoughts? I have not seen a single episode of the Orville. Not a single one. It looks like it's something that I would like. I haven't heard anybody's reception to it. I haven't listened to any reviews or seen any kind of scores or whatnot on what people think of it. But it definitely looks like something that would be right up my alley. A little, I don't know if it's true or if it's anything like it, but it kind of gives me like a Galaxy Quest vibe. Although it's played a little straighter than that, I think at least. Galaxy Quest is so much fun, but haven't seen Orville. It's something that I've wanted to watch. I honestly forgot about it until you just said it, Nameless King. But, you know, before I watch the Orville, I'm going to watch, you know, the Picard show. And before I watch the Orville, I'll probably watch Star Trek Discovery. And I'll probably watch a lot of other things before I jump on the Orville. So, you know, I'll never say never. Maybe eventually. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Ant Shot First. Hey, man, going to be visiting Florida at the end of February for a couple weeks. Nice. Been about 18 times at this point. That's a lot of times. Any pointers on cool things to check out? It all depends on where you're going. You know, I'm a big fan of parks. We got a lot of good waterways here. I'm a big fan of kayaking and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what you're looking to do. But you know, I don't, yeah, are you going to Disney? I really don't know. Man, what can I tell you to do? I mean, dude, some of my favorite things, the reason I love living here is because of all the waterways and the marshes and whatnot. And we used to go kayaking all the time before we had a kid. And that was one of our favorite pastimes to do. If you're going to South Florida, I would take like a charter out into the ocean. You could do some deep sea fishing, something like that. If you're going to North Florida, where I live, St. Augustine's nice. St. Augustine is the first city in the United States. You know, they've kept it really nice. It's you know, there's very, very touristy pockets of it that kind of feel like Daytona. A lot of t-shirt shops, right? But for the most part, it's really nice. There's a big fort that you can take a tour of, and it's worth checking out, walking on St. George Street. It's worth going to. If you're going to the middle of the state, you can thank Disney World for popping that off. Go to Disney, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, it all depends on where you're going, what region you're going to, because Florida is very different. It's a big state, and the bottom of Florida is very different. The south end of Florida is very different than the north end of Florida. The north end of Florida might as well be like, I don't know, Georgia, South Carolina. The south part of Florida might as well be another country. It's such a cool... we were down in Miami a few months ago. I hadn't been in like 10 years. And it's such a cool vibe there. So different than North Florida. You know, it's a very, very like kind of... It's just a really different kind of state with so many different types of people and cultures, and I don't know, it's cool. But I don't know. Let me know where you're going. I've to tell you the truth, I've probably explored more. I've explored more Georgia than I have Florida. When we take vacations, we tend to go north instead of south, just because, you know, we live in Florida, we got palm trees, and we have beaches. So we usually go up to the mountains or something like that, so. Text. There we go. But I appreciate that, man. Star Wars Story, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. HG watched Gigapixels of Andromeda, blew my mind. Hell yes. Star Wars Story. I'm glad you watched it. Of Andromeda. I'm going to post the link in the chat for anybody that has no idea what Star Wars Story is talking about. There. Wait, did I post the right thing? Dude, in the 9 years that I've been doing YouTube, you know, I cannot believe that I've never accidentally, like, copied and pasted my address or something like that. You know what I mean? You would have thought by now, with just how quick I go Control-C, Control-V, Enter, I would have accidentally posted some personal information, you know? Yeah, check it out. If anybody hasn't seen the video that I just posted, you know, don't fast forward. Have some patience. It's only a 3-minute long video. Turn up your speakers, full screen that son of a bitch, and just get engrossed into our nearest galactic neighbor. Trillion stars in the Andromeda Galaxy. Watch this video from start to finish. Full screen, speakers up, and get entranced. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. It's mind-blowing. And, you know, Andromeda is just one of hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. There's no question in my mind that there are way more out there. I believe some of the latest findings kick that thing up to a trillion or so. Could be an infinite, you know. So, check it out. But I appreciate that Star Wars story. And William Aguilar, once again, if you go to your Discord server and click Share Your Creation section, you can see my game. Check it out. Oh, nice. The Kickstarter isn't up yet, but soon. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up so I can check it out afterwards. Yeah, I mean, like, I know the feeling of wanting to rush something, Will. I know that feeling. You know, you're working on something and you want to put it out. I like how you're taking your time and you're not immediately starting the Kickstarter before you have anything to show, right? A lot of people do that, Will. A lot of people, like, just put an idea out on Kickstarter, and that's fine. But it's way more impactful if you show people what you've been building, what you've been making, and what you want to create with their support, right? So I like what you're doing. And be patient with making that Kickstarter, because popping that thing out, making it public the right way could be you know, the varying factor of success or it not reaching people and not being as impactful to people. So I will check it out. Share your creations. Oh wow, that looks sharp. Concept art. Did you make this? That's crazy, man. Ah, tiers of space there. Coordinates of space? Is it like Battleship, but in space? I love it. 4 times Galaxy Conquest game with 3D spaceship combat. I love it, man. Hell yeah, keep that up. I could see something like that becoming huge, you know? Yeah, the 2 pieces I have so far make it look like a finished product, but I still need to refine it. It looks sharp, dude. I'm thoroughly impressed by that. You know, you see a lot of things where people have ambitious thoughts, but they never make it come to life. But this looks sharp. You actually have a tangible product to make, that you've made. Congratulations on just making that happen. That in itself is a huge feat. This is really neat, man. Yeah, please, whenever you get this done, and once again, please do not rush it. Make it, toss it over here. Toss it my way. I'd love to check it out and blast it out. Yeah, coordinates in space, X, Y, Z. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. Hell yeah. I don't, like, we moved so far from the city where we used to live. We live an hour outside of the city now, or about 45 minutes out of the city. My friends have, like, D&D night and stuff like that, and I haven't played I haven't played a tabletop game in years, and I'm kind of thirsty for it after seeing what you just sent. So, I dig it, man. Best of luck, and keep us posted for sure. Anytime, Will. And Vince Wynn, oldest movie you've seen, do you agree with the sentiment they don't make them like they used to? That is true, right? They don't make them like they used to. That's always true. Is that a positive or negative connotation? Just as a blank statement with no not reading into it too much. Yeah, of course they don't make them like they used to, right? They make cars different now. Everything is different now. But no, it depends, right? Like, if you're talking about furniture, of course. I mean, things used to be well-crafted, oiled machines of furniture that would never break, and they were just put together with love and care. And now, and I'm guilty of it, I buy shit from IKEA and Target too, because it's cheap. but especially when it comes to furniture, I would say that that sentiment is true. But when it comes to cars, things like that, I mean, you got Toyotas and Subarus and stuff like that with 500,000 miles, right? Crazy ass. I drive a Subaru Crosstrek, and I'm really hoping that that is going to be my daughter's first car when she turns 16. She's got about 14 and a half years to go, and I think that puppy is gonna still be running. I hope so. I don't have to buy another car. She'll be carpooling with her friends. So, I mean, the sentiment is true for certain things, but other things... Let's talk about computers. That is not true, right? I mean, the computing power of the LEM, the Lunar Excursion Module that landed on the moon, had as much computing power, less computing power than a shitty, like, pocket calculator. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's not make that like we used to, please. So the oldest movie that I've ever seen, I guess you're talking about movies here. I should have thought about that. The oldest movie that I've ever seen. What year did Nosferatu come out? Or, let's see, I believe it was the 20s. 1929. The Great Dictator was, I believe, in the 30s. No, 40. Okay, so maybe Nosferatu. I'll just do a search for oldest movies and see if anything. I've seen Metropolis. What year did that come out? 1927. So that might be the oldest movie that I've ever seen. The Kid. A Trip to the Moon. I've seen A Trip to the Moon. What year did that come out? 1902. It's only 18 minutes long, of course, but I've seen it. So, okay, I'm going to call it right there. A Trip to the Moon is the oldest movie that I've ever seen. It's only 18 minutes long, but dude, if you guys haven't seen it, it's what inspired the Tonight video by Smashing Pumpkins. But if you guys haven't seen A Trip to the Moon, watch it. It's only 18 minutes long. It is so inventive, the way they get some of these shots. I would definitely recommend checking that out. But Werner Herzog remake is really good. Oh, I didn't know there was a remake. If we're talking about 1902, A Trip to the Moon is the oldest movie that I've ever seen. 1902. Think about that. Think about that. That is crazy to think about. 1902. How far we've come. But, even then, it's the way they invented new ways to shoot movies and stuff like that back then. Yeah, I would I'll keep talking in circles here, but if you guys haven't seen it, it's only 18 minutes long. It's shorter than that, I think. I don't know, but it's short. It is a time capsule of movie magic made in 1902. So watch A Trip to the Moon and be taken in that time machine, But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. I hope that's what you were asking. I kind of went on a little tangent there. But yeah. And Star Wars Story, once again, thank you so much, man. Thoughts on original Episode 9 Duel of the Fates script leak? You know me, man. Until someone official comes out and says something, I tend to believe most things to be bullshit. That's probably maybe it's the opposite of cynical, but maybe it's too pessimistic and too, my bullshit detector is turned too high sometimes, and maybe it's legit. A lot of news outlets are not, like AV Club picked up on it, right? And there's a lot of other outlets that have picked up on it. And my buddy fully believes it. He was texting me yesterday about it. I've read a little bit of it. I haven't really dove into it that much, and I was debating about making a video on it because this channel, I've never wanted to fuel the leak machine, because I've been doing this for 9 years and I've seen so much bullshit kind of come across my desk, you know. That being said, it could be true. It could be real. Who knows? There's been a lot of nonsense posted online. I would like to read it, but I feel like if I read it and it wasn't true, I would just be wasting my time reading somebody's fan fiction. You know what I mean? If it is true, I would love for, you know, Trevorrow to is that how you say it, Trevorrow, or is it Trevorrow? I think it's Trevorrow. I would love for him to just come out and just give a thumbs up, you know, and that's it. Because if it's real, you know, I would definitely like to check it out. But yeah. So, I would love to make a video on it. But the video would ultimately turn into me talking about, hey, take every leak, quote unquote leak, with a grain of salt, like I've done a million times, right? But yeah. Anyway. I appreciate that, man. So you were like 11. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Let's see. Thought I'd be taller? I'm 6'2". Alright. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Find the version of A Trip to the Moon with the soundtrack by Air. Puts the trip in trip. Oh, goodness. Alright. A Trip to the Moon with music. Let's see what first pops up. I like this song that we're listening to right now. I like this song. We're blasting off! We're blasting off! A Trip to the Moon new soundtrack. I'm trying to find it. Okay, A Trip to the Moon Air soundtrack. Found it. Okay, found it. Yep, I got it right here. I have it pulled up. I'll check it out after the stream. La Voyage, Luna is the 6th studio album French electronic music duo Era. Oh, interesting. Okay. I've never heard of the group, but it just judging by the title of their songs, I am on board. It just goes with the movie. Interesting. This is cool, man. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. This sounds really neat. All right, I'm gonna have to watch this. Maybe I'll turn it on the TV when my daughter wakes up from her nap and she can check it out. See how old movies were made, right? Not that she'll understand. Won't. But I appreciate that, man. And Killian Hannon, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Killian says, favorite movie director. There's a lot of directors that I like, but the one that has stood out to me for so many years, and he has such a wide catalog of types of movies, is Danny Boyle. I love Danny Boyle movies. He, for those of you who might not know, he directed like Trainspotting. He directed 28 Days Later. More recently, he's done like Slumdog. Well, recently, Slumdog Millionaire was like maybe late 2000s, early 2010s. Can't remember. He also did one of my favorite movies of all time, 127 Hours. 127 hours. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's in my top 10. So Danny Boyle, I'll read off a little bit of his catalog here. I just Googled it. Sunshine. Sunshine is a great science fiction flick if you've never seen it. He directed The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. He directed Steve Jobs, the movie, which was okay. I really like him as a visual storyteller. He directed Yesterday, which I haven't watched yet, the movie about the guy who, the Beatles never existed, and And he starts, like, I guess becoming huge because people think that he made up these Beatles songs because the Beatles never existed. So he's one of my favorite directors of all times. He's one of my favorite directors of all times. He's a great visual storyteller. And he directed one of my favorite movies of all time as well, 127 Hours, which if you guys haven't seen it and you want a HelloGreedo recommendation to watch tonight or this weekend, boom, I just posted a link to the Rotten Tomatoes page for 127 Hours. Don't watch a trailer. Just go watch it. I love that movie through and through. It's such a great flick about survival, about the human spirit, about... it's fantastic. James Franco is great in it. You know how sometimes you have an urge to watch a movie that you've seen 1,000 times? 127 Hours is a movie that I constantly have an urge to watch. I just completely love it. And the soundtrack is great too. And I cannot help at the end of the movie. I'm not giving anything away. Every time I get a lump in my throat, and the eyes start to water a little bit. Every time, the mixture of music and visuals is just so powerful, man. It's such a powerful movie. But yeah, watch 127 Hours this weekend and report back to me, students. Ed, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. Thoughts on Denis Villeneuve? Villeneuve? I can't remember how to pronounce it. Denis Villeneuve, right? French Canadian Pride. I don't know if I've ever... I think we've recently talked about him. The only movies... Oh, okay. Yep. So, I've seen Blade Runner 2049. I forgot he was doing Dune. I forgot about that. I've seen Arrival. I've seen Sicario. I've seen Prisoners. Have I seen Enemy? Never seen Enemy. I've seen Prisoners. And I think that's it. So I've seen Blade Runner, Arrival, Sicario, and Prisoners of his. He has such a... When you watch one of his movies, he has such a kind of trademark directing style, right? When you watch one of his, you feel that it is one of his movies. It's interesting. I've liked all of the movies that I've seen of his, the 4 that I've seen. None of them have been like major standouts for me. I was so excited to see Arrival. I liked it for the most part, but I expected it to be, and I love heady sci-fi. Heady sci-fi is what I want in my sci-fi. Star Wars is kind of a standout. It's kind of an anomaly with what I like about sci-fi for the most part. But with Arrival, you know, I was excited for it. It didn't really do much for me. Prisoners, I remember liking quite a bit. We saw that in the theater. We tend to see, like, me and my wife are big fans of Jake Gyllenhaal. He's such a fantastic actor, and we try to see everything that he's in. So we really liked that one. But overall, I think he's a really talented director. And I completely forgot that he was doing Dune. And I'm now that I think about it, I guess I'm pretty excited for it. So anyway, Ed, I appreciate that, man. I might have to download Dune on my my Kindle. It's been a very long time since I've even thought about Dune. And with that, my daughter just popped her head up. Is she waking up already? Let's see. That was about an hour and 15 minutes, but she's laying back down now. Let's see. She might fall back to sleep. This is usually what she does. Sometimes, man, she will pop up after 30 minutes or an hour, look around, and then put her head back down and fall asleep for another hour. You never know. It looks like she's fallen back to sleep. We'll see. Unless she pooped, then she's up. But it doesn't look like she did. They need baby monitors with smell-o-vision. That's what they need. A poop detecting sensor. But yeah. All right, guys. She's back to sleep. But that was a little over an hour. of a little afternoon stream. These are usually shorter than that. I usually shoot for 30 minutes, but that was a lot of fun, man. I'm trying to think what I'm probably not gonna stream tonight. Tomorrow night, Friday, I probably will do an evening stream. We'll have to see. I'm not too sure. This weekend, I'm gonna do an afternoon stream on Saturday. And Sunday, I'll probably do an evening stream with some pockets of videos, hopefully, in there as well. So, yeah, stay tuned. I just uploaded a Clone Wars video today, so check it out if you already haven't. And yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. To everybody who supported the channel through Super Chats, I cannot tell you thank you enough. I appreciate the ever-living hell out of it. And Ant Shot First, thank you so much for joining the fleet this afternoon, man. Welcome to the fleet once again. So yeah, enjoy your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever the hell you are on this big, beautiful blue marble that we call Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!